Good morning. We've just gotten up and thought you'd like to take a look at our little piece of heaven here. And haven't shown you any garden stuff for a while. So we'll go over here and take a look at some of the stuff we've got going on. Needs weeded, that's for sure. This little bush here is a James McFarland lilac, which has already bloomed. There's a little bit left on the top, and it comes out after the normal lilacs come out, and it's got such a fragrance. We had a big one in the back that Terry had to cut down to paint the garage, but it's going to come back. It's just not going to be like it was for a long time. Supposedly we had garlic growing in here, and we've just never had any good luck with garlic. So right here we have horseradish, and horseradish, if you're gonna grow that stuff, you need to put it someplace where you really want it, because it will just take over. And when you dig it up, if you leave any of the root in behind it or left over, it will grow from that little piece of root. And we have some volunteer potatoes. We grow potatoes in here normally, and so we have some volunteer potatoes. They're all looking pretty good, getting ready to bloom. The horseradish already bloomed. It was really pretty. And then right here I was supposed to have cucumbers, and all I got was this one little guy right here out of all the seeds, and I'm just wondering how he's gonna make it. Got some hot peppers here. Sorry, I'm not remembering what kind they were, but some hot peppers. And then we have some grape tomatoes right there. And I just saw a video last night, and let's see, who was it? Art and Bree, and we watched them. They live in Asheville, North Carolina. And they were saying about how to keep your tomatoes trimmed, because they don't have any of the leaves touching on the ground, and they have reduced the blight in their garden quite a bit. So when we get that, sometimes the tomatoes are blighted. I just got done picking strawberries, and that's what made me think that maybe you'd like to see. We got some. They're hiding in there. Those are for tomorrow. You gotta keep at it every day, or they'll just they'll get ripe, and then the critters will get to them. I've had a couple little bites out of them. I think they're from ground squirrels. I call them chippies, whatever. Got some cabbage. Got some green cabbage, and it seems to be a little bit slower than the purple cabbage, which is right here, although they were all planted at the same time. I learned from watching Stacy and Doug. These are all YouTube people that I watch, and about fermenting. And there's a volunteer potato coming up in the middle of that, looks like. So I've tried some fermenting, and it actually tastes pretty good. It's done in a salt brine, and it leaves all the vitamins and nutrients in the food without cooking it out like canning, and it's still crispy. I think that's what Clausen pickles are actually fermented, because that's why they're in the refrigerator section. Some more volunteer potatoes, and then we have some spaghetti squash, and we did have several different kinds of squash planted here, and they just didn't come up. Don't know why. Old seed maybe. But I have two spaghetti squash here, and they were just recently transplanted to these hills, and I think they're going to make it, so that's all good. Let me see. And I'm almost stepping in them. All along the border of this we have onions. So we've got onions growing everywhere. We like onions. We cook onions. We dry onions. So we have quite a few. And I wanted to show you this box over here. we got a raised box, and we've got our little hidden bird bath down in there. It's not too hidden because my cat comes and drinks out of it. I don't know where she is. She's usually here helping me. But this box right here is like where we throw everything we don't know what to do with. So there's all kinds of flowers in here. Not exactly sure. Let me get my shadow out of the way. Not exactly sure what everything is in there. Some canadulas, I think you call them. I threw some poppies in there. I don't even know. There's just whatever's in there. And if I don't keep it watered all the time, it turns into a big giant ant farm. So, all right. And I had a columbine grow there, and that was really very pretty. And I'm going to show you my tikis. My neighbor carved these for me, and they're kind of cool. And the older, more weathered they get, the more interesting they become. They have little spotlights on them at night that changes color. I had one over here too. I don't know if I could get it to focus. Yeah, there he is. And he's getting kind of weathered, and there's a spotlight on him too. It's just kind of fun to look at at night and go, ooh. So, all right, then to the back. We don't have much ground here. I mean, it's, I don't know, 1/4 of an acre maybe. I'm not sure. I got sunflowers growing in there, and like I said, it seriously needs some weeding. I'm trying to get this trellis painted, and boy, it's just sprayer would just work wonders, I think. To the back, and here is we have some thornless blackberries, and they're gonna be coming on strong this year. They didn't do anything last year. We really don't know what we're doing, but they grew really good one year, and then the next year we had nothing, and then this year we've got lots of flowers, so we're gonna have lots of berries. I've been freezing those and eating the last harvest in my oatmeal. All right, over here is a blueberry that we planted this year. So I guess that's going to take a while for it to do anything. I don't know if you can see it because it kind of blends in with the grass. And we planted another one here that we got from a reputable seed company, or one of those garden seed things you get. Starts with a B, and you can't even see it. It's like a $10 stick is what it is, and I don't think it's I don't even think it's living. So we'll probably just take that cage down off of it and mow it down. Here's the crazy salad garden, and it's really, wow, we've been eating salad out of this thing every day. These are zinnias and stuff in the front. Lettuce, a couple rows of lettuce, probably a couple more rows than what we need. And so we got that kind, and then we got this lighter colored stuff, and then that's kale, and then all this furry stuff, that's actually dill, and I didn't plant it there. I planted dill last year, and it just turned into a 6-foot dill jungle, and it got out of control. And then Terry came in spring with a weed whacker, and not knowing what was going on, he just whacked it, and it just whacked seeds everywhere. So I found out that when you take dill, when it's like this, and you cut it up and put it in a salad, it's really good. Oh my gosh, I almost can't eat salad without having dill in it now. Let me see, go around here, and I've got some, and there's onions planted in here too. I've got some basil. I might be overwatering it. It doesn't look too good right now. And then there's this, this is basil too. It's called boxwood. And then I have some lemon verbena, and that tastes good in iced tea. Needs to be weeded. I got so much weeding to do. And back there is chives, and they come up every year, and there's some dill mixed up in that. And then here's where the dill is supposed to be, instead of all over my yard like this. But hey, you know, I'm blessed with dill. Got some sunflower seeds, sunflowers growing here, and I had one that was probably as big as what those two are back there, and some squirrel decided that he was going to mow it down and eat it or destroy it. I don't know what he was doing, but anyway, it broke my heart. It was actually right here on this post. And but I have something else come up there, and if you guys have never had a moonflower, they kind of blurt seeds all over the place too. So I have some volunteer moonflower coming up there with the lettuce, and they get real huge flowers on them, and so fragrant, and they come out at night, and that's why they smell so strongly, is so that the moths can find them at night to pollinate them. This is what we call our bean tunnel, and it's just a cattle paddle, and we have 3 of them lined up, and we have pole beans planted on each side, so they're doing pretty good. Let's see, just walked through a spider web. And our gate, we keep the gate locked. It's a joke. We said we keep the mosquitoes in here. We keep the gate locked so they don't get out. Since we're fermenting, we thought that we would grow more broccoli, and it seems to be doing really well. I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 plants. So we're gonna have lots of broccoli. And the seed company sent us something called a vine peach, which is that coming up right there, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm kind of curious. It's maybe like a melon or something. So, and then we have beets, and we decided that we really like beets. The beets are healthy for you. It helps your blood and everything else. So we have beets all the way from one end of the garden to the other. And these are just the round ones. I like the Cylindra, but for some reason we didn't get those this year. But root crops do really good in this garden. At one time, because we're so close to the lake, this must have been like swamp or something. And so the dirt is really black. And so everything grows in here. Well, mostly root crops, and I've got, excuse me, right up alongside the beets or carrots, and they're just now starting to show up and looking pretty good. We have more onions. You know, I was telling from the weeds here. One time I thought it was a bright idea to grow morning glories in here, and that's what that is. Those are morning glories waiting to take over my garden, so I got to get those out of here. They look beautiful climbing over the bean tunnel. But in front we have all different kinds of peppers. We have, these are all sweet. The hot ones are in the front. And then we have a couple different kinds of tomatoes growing here. And per Bree and Art on YouTube, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to prune these bottom branches off of here so it makes the plant grow taller and stronger, and I guess have bigger tomatoes without the blight. So that's one of my chores for today, if I can get to it. We got rain coming probably tomorrow. There's more of the there's some horseradish. Yeah, we originally planted it back here, and it just, we have somebody that really likes it, so we continue to grow it. We tried to get rid of it, but it just didn't happen. I got some asparagus back there that we didn't plant right, and it just comes up in little sprigs, and I eat them before before they even make it in the house. There's nothing good like breaking off a piece of asparagus and walking around while you're looking at the garden. I got some more peppers right here, and they're starting to get crowded out a little bit, but I think they're going to be okay. I see a little pepper going on right there. I don't know why this thing doesn't focus. It's just an old Nikon camera. And then, let me back off of it, we have 2 rows of potatoes, and they are all the way the whole length of the garden. So like I said, we have lots of root crops and they do really well, and we almost had enough last year to get through the winter. One of the things that we're lacking here, because we don't have a basement, we're too close to the lake, is cold storage. So we just do what we can. I dry stuff, and you can shred up 10 pounds of potatoes and put them in a half-gallon jar. It's impressive. And then you reconstitute them. You can mash them. You can have home fries or whatever. Now, this is not ours. This is our next door neighbor's. And we do have a deer problem here, so we've all in this area have decided to, fence off our gardens. And we have these extra posts that if it does become a problem, we can run nylon rope through them and make them up over 8 feet tall, and that will keep the deer out. So I guess that's it. I don't know what else to show you. I've got other things. We signed up and got some trees from the Audubon. Is it Audubon? No, it's not Audubon. I don't know. They want you to plant trees, and so they send us 10 for a donation, and 4 out of the 10. And there's some right there. So there's some cilantro that the neighbor gave me. I didn't think it was going to make it, but it looks pretty good. And those are just weeds. What was supposed to be in it didn't come up. Yeah, here's our trees. I think I got Rose of Sharon. That might be a lilac. And then there's another Rose of Sharon, which that stuff comes up like weeds around here anyway. And one more thing. It was a micro greens, and I've let them go to seed here. They're starting to bolt. But we're snipping those off with a pair of scissors and throwing them in our salad. All right, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.